Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play The Pillars of the Earth. Last time as Aliena, we arrived in a new part of the world to seek Jack out. A good place to say my prayers.
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady now.
I thank you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen. Huh.
So yeah, I'll admit I was afraid that thing was gonna like fall forward and like almost hit her or something. Anyway, this looks familiar. Is this?
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
I agree. He always did.
Oh, you knew Master Jacques.
Yes, but it's been a while since I last saw him.
It's a shame that the Master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
The Master Builder said he'd fired him after just 3 days.
Did he? Well, maybe that's how he remembers it. The two didn't really see eye to eye, you know? To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job, having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel. It was the one thing the Master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
Your master said he had no discipline.
Let me tell you something. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
Santiago de Compostela. I guess that's our next destination. Far away.
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
Hey!
Jack, if you may.
I'd almost forgotten about this part of the book where Jack ended up. One of Rashid's new toys is from a country far east of here.
Let me draw your attention to the magnificent songbird on the table.
And it runs with water alone. Okay.
And then to that wondrous donkey next to the entrance.
Yeah, we saw that.
Although the most astounding thing of all stands right between them.
Let's see, ribbed vaults and pointed arches. These southern builders are geniuses.
Haha, precisely. But one thing at a time. Let us let Jack decide what to demonstrate first.
Another new device. This one works with steam. Pure ingenuity. What is this? Statuette of a lady, plain wood with stone eyes. With no mechanism or machinery, no one knows how she works. A Jew, Muslim, and a converted Christian. Yet their quarrels are always playful, full of wisdom and curiosity.
He likes to take his time, doesn't he?
If only it could be like that in real life. It's fitted perfectly into the device, but can be easily removed. Usually holds water. Let's check this out.
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last? Otherwise, the other two devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
So we have this container full of nothing because it's empty. But there's some water here. Water to cool off in the afternoon. Too heavy to carry around. But we can fill up our bowl. I love how we still have our slingshot. After all this time, we still got that. It's filled with water, and the donkey works on water, so let's test that out.
Now, watch the head. Just any moment now. There. Did you see? It threw up.
Rashid, this is disgusting.
Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
Okay. Let's explain it, or it's pure magic.
You see that bowl floating on top of the water? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock.
How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
Oh my gosh.
Show us more, Rashid.
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
Okay. Hello there, you lovely young lady.
Who is this man, Rashid?
Jack is a friend of the house. A brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist.
She brought tea, but of course that's just a pretense.
Just
She's too
the other
clever.
day, he explained Euclid to me.
This is just an excuse to listen. Euclid.
What is that?
A Greek who wrote a book called The Elements of Geometry. The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
How very peculiar.
Don't let me distract you, Jack.
But you are pretty distracting. Anyway, let's try the bird out. So the bird is connected to this device here, and it said it needs steam, so let's get some more water.
I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
Hey man, that's not how I roll. When did that thing refill with water anyway?
And now?
Now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
Thanks for the instructions, I already knew what I was doing. A wick dipped in tallow and wrapped in wax. This too must have been a clever invention once. How easy it is to lose one's sense of awe. True, true. Rashid must never know I burned down a cathedral. Oh, Memories, memories. Alright, let's see what happens.
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
Oh, that is cool. I want one of those. The Banu Musa. The Banu Musa brothers were 3 scholars of Persian descent who lived in Baghdad in the 9th century. They are known for the Book of Ingenious Devices, a large illustrated collection of mechanical appliances and automata. These automata were largely designed for entertainment, but featured innovative engineering. The brothers also wrote books on astronomy, astrology, and geometry, the last of which had a great influence on both Islamic and European mathematics.
Well, how marvelous!
How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
Despite an evil spirit, or explain it.
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I must agree. This is brilliant.
Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. 1 song after every hour.
Huh.
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet.
Of course. Jack, if you may.
Alright. What will the statuette do?
Oh, you will love this. Just watch.
Oh, I know what it'll do. I need to put it somewhere cold. Okay. A shady spot to avoid the midday sun and surround oneself with wonders. This is a neat little thing that'll happen.
Now?
Just be patient, but don't look away. It takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Is it crying? Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is going on?
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise. Like dew. The only difference is the surface. That's all.
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy.
How intuitive of her.
So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Maybe the dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
On the Camino de Compostela, 3 months later.
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about 70. Some were prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice, a few drunks, and several monks and clergymen. Several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Oc. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs. While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
I understood kind, which is child.
Hush now.
I really wish I knew more German. That was a problem in Gabriel Knight as well. For walk, apologize to the pilgrims, rock the baby, hum a song.
Richtig dreist.
That's what I thought she'd hum. That's Jack's song. Rock the baby.
Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben? Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug.
If someone could translate that for me, that would be amazing. Just put that in the comments.
Ein Kind hat ja auch gar nichts verloren. Stimmt doch,
Something
oder?
about knights.
Jetzt ist's aber gut.
I'm sorry. He has to cry himself out before he'll fall asleep.
Same here.
It will give you a strong voice one day, won't it? Do you have children?
Okay. Let's keep talking to them.
How long have you been traveling to get here? I met pilgrims from as far east as Franconia. I am sorry. We'll go for a walk so you can get some rest.
See, if they might recognize Franconia, I mean, that is German. Let's see. Wonder what Jack looks like nowadays. Interesting. I don't understand them. Is that a German tongue? Yes, it is. I'm almost 100% sure. See, we have a path leading away from camp, but it doesn't look like... No, tomorrow I'll leave. Across the bridge. So let's go this way, down the riverside. And hopefully Mr. Baby Dude here will calm down a bit. The town was granted bridge privileges. What the heck is that? So pilgrims must pass through here. The town's merchants profit greatly. Oh, I see. Because there's a tax to cross the bridge. We love taxes, don't we? The river, okay. Most pilgrims stay near the spring in town. I thought the river would be quieter. Now I am the one making all the noise. But yeah, I guess if you're going to build and maintain a bridge, I mean, you need to fund it somehow.
Come back to me. Please, come back to me.
Oh, you really want attention, don't you? See, most pilgrims stay near the spring in town. I thought the river would be quieter. Now I am the one making all the noise. That poor soul. Maybe I can help her somehow. Let's help her.
Where are you? Where did you go?
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring. I lost my ring. Dear Lord, please show mercy.
Oh, maybe we can help her find that ring. Let's see, what can I click on? Oh, here we go. Search for ring. Moist soil. Guess it's not there. Maybe it fell into the brush. A very small bush.
Come back to me. Please come back to me.
Oh, I see something sparkling here. Is this it?
Where are you? Where did you go?
I found it. Alright, let's hand that over to her.
I found it.
Yes! Oh, thank you! Thank you so much! You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
It's good to do
glad
good
I could
things.
help.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
It was courageous of you to leave. You did what your heart told you to.
I was stupid. So stupid.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
I'm sure you have the capacity.
Actually, we two have quite a few things in common. I too am trying to make amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now and our journey will be over,
Yeah, hopefully not long now. Camino de Santiago. El Camino de Santiago, also known as the Way of St. James, is in Spanish, James is Santiago. It's weird. Is a Christian pilgrimage route to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, where the remains of Jesus' apostle St. James the Greater were presumably put to rest. The pilgrimage to Santiago, besides Jerusalem and Rome, is one of the most important pilgrimages in Christianity, and is believed to be one of the only ways to free a pilgrim of their sins. By the 12th century, it has become a well-organized undertaking. Even a book was written as a travel guide for pilgrims. The Codex Calixtinus, supporting the pilgrims in completing their travel. The scallop shell is used to guide the pilgrims on their way and serve as a symbol of St. James and the Camino, because at the end of their travel the pilgrims will almost have reached the ocean. Jeez, I would love to travel these roads. I don't believe in pilgrimages myself, at least not from a religious standpoint, but I would still love to go down these roads and just explore, and it just seems so great. I do have a lot of wanderlust going on right now. Alright, so we only have one way to go. We just need to walk.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side. Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love? Or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me for a long time now. But if I really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind.
Ooh, and a long way to Leon.
Around Leon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba.
Okay.
After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward. The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
Oh no. Let's not leave without her, let's stay with her.
Of course I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
I don't know, because if she is dying, I would at least want one person who she really feels truly cares about her staying by her side at the end. Continue to stay.
I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back.
Yeah, so although we couldn't have saved her, I think it was the right choice to stay with her to the end.
I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness. But she'd not reached Santiago.
That's okay.
When I left, that thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
And now it is up to us to finish the journey. After 1 month of traveling on the way of St.
After
James.
months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
Okay, so we're in Santiago de Compostela. So now, where do we go? Where do we find our new lead? You're just gonna have to find out next time on Let's Play The Pillars of the Earth. Thank you for watching and have a good day.